Eggleston can't do the fielding at deep extra cover. And that's 4 to Lara. 105 for 1. Brian Lara, 19 not out. Looking at that particular banner, he doesn't necessarily have all of his fans with him here. That'll speed away for 4. Good effort by Eggleston, but he can't get there. Pulled away. 4 runs. Well, Lewis tested him earlier in the over and he missed it. That time he got it right.
Well, that's beautifully played. He's found the gap, and that's his half century. Desmond Haynes raises his bat. He's had many of them during his career, and Desmond Haynes moves on to 50.
This has been another very confident display from Desmond Haynes. He's picked the gaps where possible. Played very steadily indeed. A lovely way to bring up the 50. Timing that ball away, picking the gap at mid-wicket.
There are 5 overs remaining for the second day's play. And the West Indies, well, perhaps at the end of the day will be, if they don't lose another wicket, just a little bit in front. Down behind square, typical Lara stroke, will beat the fielder for 4. Well, he's banged that away. That was a bad ball. Got the treatment. So 2 4s in the over. This crowd now is warming to Brian Lara. Such an exciting player.
Yes, Brian Lara really had so much time at his disposal to play this shot. Even managing to drag it from wide of off stump. And it travelled like a rocket out to deep mid-wicket.
Just a little flick of the wrists and will go away for 4. That boundary up there is short. And helping the leg break coming into him with that flick of the wrist for a boundary.
Brian Lara just waited for that ball to come onto him. And really, just at the last moment there, applied the finishing touches. Used what pace there was in the ball already. And just directed it perfectly down towards fine leg.
He's got 47. And the crowd here anticipating his 50. And that'll be it. Misfielded. Brian Lara gets the 50. With that drive off the back foot. And this crowd is absolutely in a frenzy.
Well, misfield or no misfield, Brian Lara really deserving this half-century. He brings it up with a typical shot through the offside.
That is beautifully placed. Magnificently played and magnificently saved. Brilliant work by the same Graham Hick. Well, that was magnificent cricket all round.
Well, absolutely magnificent examples of both batting and fielding. Brian Lara, a nicely timed shot into the gap at mid-wicket. Beautifully played, a flick of the wrists. And for a while it seemed that Graham Hick was going to have just too much to do to make ground to it. That's that same gap again. Angus Fraser misses the dive. Graham Hick won't be able to cut that one off. And Brian Lara continuing on his merry way.
So at the close of day 2, the West Indies 152 for 1, with Haynes and Lara both past 50, and now only 170 behind England. Well, Bob, that little session showed once and for all that the wicket had very few of the terrors that England had perceived they'd seen when they'd batted.
Yeah, the only encouraging thing really was the way that Chris Lewis bowled with the new ball. You know, they brought out the bowling coach Jeff Arnold, and with Devon Malcolm back in the UK, they wanted him to run in with the new ball, which he did pretty well. The rest of the bowling was very indifferent.
There was perhaps an encouraging start to Ian Salisbury's spell when he was bowling to Richie Richardson, and Richardson was trying to hit him through the covers and not getting him through.
Yeah, but there's still at least one bad ball and over from Salisbury, and you get the feeling that you know, if Malcolm returns to the fray, you couldn't play Malcolm and Salisbury in the side, because they're both going to be conceding 5 or 6 runs and over.
The big mystery to me was why at that stage Salisbury hadn't attempted to come round the wicket and bowl into the rough to Brian Lara in particular, who was looking $1 million.
Yeah, he's still an inexperienced bowler, and he doesn't feel comfortable bowling round the wicket. It was such an obvious thing to do, but he couldn't pitch the ball as well when he bowled round the wicket as he did when he bowled over.
So then, 170 behind as day 3 is about to get underway. Let's rejoin Desmond Haynes and Brian Lara, and if you like stroke play, you're in for a treat.
That's gone for 4, no worries about that one. A very loose delivery from Ian Salisbury for the second ball of the day. Well, that's found the gap for Lara. That's going to run away for 4. These boundaries at the border, not the biggest in the world. It's brought a response from Ian Salisbury, namely to vary his angle of attack now to round the wicket, and that should bring the rough of the bowler's footmarks more into play. Something for Brian Lara to think about, and perhaps take 4 more. That's a glorious shot from Brian Lara, just beautifully played, all timing and all placement. That's going to race away for 4 runs. Found the gap perfectly, Desi Haynes. Salisbury trying to find the protection of his offside field, trying to use that protection, but Desi Haynes placed the ball perfectly. That's well bowled and gone, but no. Umpire Venkatravagan waiting to get him out. So Desmond Haynes, yes, he has gone. Caught by Jack Russell behind the stumps. A beautiful ball from Ian Salisbury. Plenty of turn there from a good length. It's really the first ball that Ian Salisbury has placed exactly on the right spot. And after some hesitation, to say the least, Desi Haynes on his way.
I think there was a definite edge there. Definitely you could see that. I think Venkat shook his head, saying yes, and then eventually gave the decision. So Desmond Haynes apart. West Indies now 177 for 2.
That's too short from Ian Salisbury this time, and Brian Lara plenty of time just to guide that ball away down to the boundary again.
He's got it through. Bad ball from Fraser, he knows it. And a despairing dive in the covers couldn't prevent the boundary. He's put that away very well indeed. So that's the 200 on the board. Lara putting it through mid-wicket for yet another boundary, his 15th.
Lara's in good touch, runs are coming quickly. You've got to stop that in a different way.
brilliant save. Ramprakash at square leg, cutting off what certainly would have been another boundary. And very much appreciated by this crowd. And he's giving him out, just nodding his head. Venkat just nods his head and then raises his finger. And Keith Atherton, bat pad, caught close in on the offside as Atherton pushed forward and the ball just nicked the inside edge into the pad. And Atherton goes for 5. Salsbury gets his second wicket and the West Indies are 203 for 3.
Well, no doubt about this. There was a big noise we could even hear in the commentary box. Big bat and pad, the umpire shaking his head, popping his finger up, and just disappointment there for Keith Atherton as he stayed at the wicket. 203 for 3.
Oh, that's pulled away. It wasn't that wide of Ramprakash, but it's gone away for 4. And Lara now 99. So Brian Lara, 1 run away from his second Test century, his first in the Caribbean. Salsbury the bowler. And there it is.
Relief for Brian Lara. He's made it. His first century in the Caribbean. And it'll be the first of many, in my opinion. A brilliant young player. Isn't he happy about it? His teammates happy about it. The Guyanese crowd are happy about it. Terrific innings by Brian Lara. Shots all round the wicket. Spin, pace, it's all the same to him. Beat that ball.
Pulled away. Fraser's not going to get that. And that's 4 more. Direct hit by Ramprakash, but Adams was home. Good work, though, by the Middlesex man.
Mark Ramprakash making up for that sloppy work a couple of overs ago. Adams making the ball into a full toss, but he's so quick. He's beaten the throw by a couple of yards.
Alan Eggleston will now resume to Brian Lara. Oh, that's a magnificent shot by Lara. Straight back past the bowler, like a gunshot. Pulled away, 1 bounce, 4. That's a magnificent shot by Lara. That's the best of the lot. 14 off the over. Eggleston is in tatters. The West Indies are 241 for 3. And this is the scene currently going on inside the pavilion. Brian Lara now, his name on that board, and all that we have to see is what will the final figure be on the left.
And he can hit the on drive. And talking of on drives, there's one off the spinner from Jimmy Adams. This is an excellent spell by the West Indies and big trouble for England. The scoreboard spinning around like a fruit machine.
Well, he might well have had him there. So what a superb over from Mark Ramprakash, a surprise packet, and that's the first ball that's beaten Brian Lara, I reckon, throughout his innings.
What a wonderful delivery. It was flighted, it turned Lara around, looking down the pitch, hit into the onside. How it didn't bowl him, how it didn't stump him. Oh my goodness me, what a magnificent delivery. Any spinner would be proud of that. It was flighted, it tempted Lara down the pitch. He was driving. This is a man on 100 who's played a class innings today. Should have had a wicket, no question about that, should have been stumped.
So the two off spinners have come on, and all of a sudden the frenetic atmosphere of Border has calmed down. Got it through, found the gap, not much of a gap, but a full toss, a bad ball, and Adams puts it away to bring up the West Indies 250. Crowd which has come in today, it's the biggest crowd we've had so far, and this was only to be anticipated. It's a Saturday, West Indies batting, Lara 120, here's Ramprakash to him. And he's hit that for 4. First bad ball we've seen from Mark Ramprakash, and immediately Lara puts it away, so the West Indies just breaking free in the last couple of deliveries here with 2 boundaries, both are full tosses. Well, he's placed that so well that even Graham Hick cannot get around. Waited for it and spanked it away for a boundary, 261 for 3.
Full toss. That certainly wasn't the plan. And Brian Lara says thanks very much yet again. That's swung away again. That's gone all the way down to the boundary in the Kenny Wishart stand there. 6 more to go to Brian Lara. 286 for 3 it is. Take that, it's going to go all the way into the stand at square leg. The first bouncer a sighter for Brian Lara, the second one as inviting as anything that's been bowled all day. 6 more to Brian Lara.
Well, the ball is harder and you're bound to get a bit more bounce with it, but Chris Lewis not a type of bowler that to really intimidate Brian Lara. Brian Lara immediately going for the hook and hooking it well.
It's going to race away for 4. Very fine, thin inside edge from Jimmy Adams. And there seems to be absolutely no way that England can stop this ball clattering into the boundary boards.
He's gone, caught in at forward square leg by Michael Atherton off the bowling of Chris Lewis, and the West Indies have lost Brian Lara for 167. They're now 315 for 4.
As so often happens after a drinks break, the first ball afterwards just a lapse in concentration and Brian Lara's gone. At the end of a marvellous innings, he's given brilliant entertainment to this crowd here at Georgetown, and in my opinion we're seeing a great test batsman emerging. Brian Lara departs the scene, and the West Indies now 4 down for 350.